Hello everybody. Today we're going to be tackling Black Templars. Go ahead and throw out your codex, grab your brushes, and let's go crusading. So today we're going to knock out our armor super quick. I'm giving myself 10 hours to finish the Sword Brethren, Emperor's Champion, Crusader Squad, and Grimaldus. So we want to move quick and end up still with a great result. These are going to be for commission, so I want to be making sure that I'm getting in under time and still able to make some money on this. So to start, we're going to thin down Fenrisian Gray about 1 to 4 with airbrush thinner and shoot it in a zenithal style. We're looking to keep our recesses dark and the raised edges a bit of a bluish hue. This is going to take up a ton of our armor detailing, and it's going to really knock it out easy for us. Black armor, in my opinion, is really tough to paint, and my go-to method is typically moving it towards the blue hue rather than towards gray. It gives us that little bit of extra oomph that we need on the tabletop. Now that we have all of our marines sprayed down, we're going to do one of our few edge highlights for this whole project. Nothing slows you down quite like edge highlighting, especially if you're going for the standard GW heavy metal approach. So for this, we're keeping it simple and selective, just hitting our top edges. This looks stark right now, but believe me, down the line we're going to get this all blended together as we go along. We're going to use a bunch of streaking grime later, and that's going to bring all of us into that grimdark and gritty spectrum. Next, we're going to tackle the next largest portion of this paint job, which is going to be the tabards. When I'm working in batches, I really like to work big to small, so knock out the armor first, then the tabards, and then keep working smaller details from there. Cream is a tough color to paint over black, so we're going to start with XV88, which is this light brown color. It gives us a fantastic foundation that will allow us to highlight over the top of it without the need for a wash. Remember, we're trying to eliminate steps, so anything we can do while batch painting, we're going to do it. For our first highlight on the tabards, we're doing Morghast bone. Later down the line, we're going to break out the streaking grime. This is going to allow us to commit a lot of typical hobby sins here. We don't need to go super hard to get a smooth blend, we just want to color in the right places. If it's a little messy and we don't have a gradient, it just makes it a little bit more scratchy and it's going to look more weathered and make sense in terms of the larger paint job. And to finish the highlight for our tabards, we're going to apply our Screaming Skull to just a little bit less area than the one previous. Just the tops of the folds and the lower light catching edges of the fabric. For belts and bags, Rhinox hide is always the answer. With it being a warm brown, it's the perfect color for leather. We don't have really a reason to highlight here. I've personally never met anyone that's commented on the quality of one of my minis belts. For our Pauldrons, we're going to go with Morghast bone to get that classic Black Templar enamel color. This in particular looks great once it's weathered. It takes really well to the muddy appearance. This will take a couple coats to get through the black, but I really recommend doing it. It'll really look nice. At this point in the process, we're actually sitting at about 4.5 hours in. Base coating is lengthy work, but we're making good time overall. Our steel metallics, which are going to be the swords, buckles, guns, are going to get a quick coat of dark silver. Then our gold metallics will be Retributor armor. It's going to be your chest aquila, as well as any little ornaments or medallions. So why am I trying to cram about 20 models into 10 hours? This I would call my hobby debt. I try to avoid having many unpainted models around. At the end of the day, I really love painting, and I don't want to be spoiled for choice. I end up with decision paralysis more often than not. If that's the case, I like to see painted models, not gray plastic, sitting on my table. For this, however, I've had this commission sitting around for quite a while, a lot longer than I would have wanted. So I figured I've got some time this week, let's put it all together, and let's knock it out all in one go. Our accent color for our Black Templars is going to be red. So our cloaks and guns will be base coated in Khorne red. It's a really deep red that is a good jumping off point to circumvent the need for a wash. In the grand scheme of batch painting, once again, we're just trying to limit the amount of steps that we have, so if we can eliminate a wash, even better. When you're working with big cloaks and flat surfaces, make sure to thin your paints down a good bit. It will require a couple more coats when base coating, but those flat details are going to get a lot less clumpy and or chalky when you're doing it that way. And to highlight our red, we're going to dry brush on some Mephiston red. The dry brush is by far my favorite tool for speed painting. You get a good looking result with very little time investment. It looks like you've spent a lot more time doing it because it'll give you nice little edge highlights. It can occasionally look a little chalky, but at the end of the day, unless you're looking at it super up close, you're not going to notice. For our last step before we end up weathering, we're going to do a quick wash over the gold details with Reikland Flesh Shade, just to bring in some warmth to our recesses. And now for the main event that's going to sell this effect, Streak and Grime. This is an enamel, meaning it's oil-based. If you've never seen one used, you are probably thinking I'm insane right now, and I just slapped on this giant brown mess over the entire model that we've just spent the last 5 hours painting. But the trick with enamels and oils is if you take some white spirit and drag it along with a sponge or brush, you pull up the enamel after it's dried. This can be used to make little streaks on materials if you pull it right. It's going to give a nice overall tint and grime to the model. This is a great way to demonstrate weathering and fighting and muck and dirt, and it just gives that subtle tint of color to the areas of the model where it's left, and wherever you want it, you just pull it away. To ensure smooth removal of it, I like to tear bits of makeup sponges, dab them in the white spirit, one dab onto a paper towel, and then wipe away the areas that you want the grime to be lessened. After this step, we're sitting solidly at 6.5 hours, so we got to get stepping as we finish this up. With our paint job here, we're really looking to harken back to John Blanche's artworks. It uses a lot of tans, blacks, reds, it just keeps it in that spectrum, which is perfect for Black Templars. I feel like he has the most iconic artwork for them, and that's really what we want to sell here, is just these guys fighting in this dark and gritty environment. Once our streak and grime has completely dried, that will take some time, I come behind with a really beat up and scraggly brush and do some small paint chipping with Fenrisian gray. All you gotta do is touch the paint, touch a paper towel as if you were going to dry brush, and then poke your model, wherever weathering is likely to occur. That's gonna be the edges of the model, the big flat panels that you're facing the guys that you're charging and they're shooting at you. All those little areas, you wanna go ahead and give some pokes. And just to accentuate our red details, I really just wanted to bring in a little bit more color, so I'm going to go back into our red details and introduce more Mephiston red. This is going to be mostly just like a little top edge highlight, just on the most raised edges. You don't want to do the whole thing, or it'll ruin kind of the streak and grime effect, but just do like a gentle edge highlight along the folds of the fabric and the edges of the gun. For this project, the guy who commissioned these wanted super weathered models with an exaggerated OSL effect. So we're going to base coat our eyes and the bits around the power sword with white. We can then go through and dot our lenses with Magmadroth Flame. It's a contrast paint, so it's a little bit transparent. It's going to give us that glowing effect as the white shines through. It'll make it really bright and poppy, and then here in a minute we're going to take a little bit of airbrush as well to it. It's going to really glow and stand off. Now for some freehanding. You might ask why, with speed on the line, are you freehanding? Well, I agreed to do it as part of the commission, and I added the cost to the price, so obviously I've got to have time to fit this in here. So for when you're doing freehanding, you just want to water your paints down so that it flows off the brush really nicely. We're going to be doing some standard black Templar iconography on their little chest shield. Just like the knights of old, they now get to wear their heraldry with pride. Now for this over-exaggerated OSL effect. Let's spray down our power sword and just lightly spray where the armor would be getting hit by the light. My preferred tool and paint for this is going to be white ink. It goes on transparent so you can still see the original color underneath. It'll just give it that appearance that light is affecting it as it just gets brighter and brighter. We're also going to want to give the area around our visor a really light spray just to show that our visor, the little red glow in there, is kind of emanating out from it. For the glow, as you've seen a couple previous times on the channel, we're going to spray it down with Aethermatic blue contrast paint. In my opinion, it's just the blue glow color. I don't know what else you want me to say. A really light dusting of this is going to do more than the trick. So you just want to get a little bit of spillover onto the armor wherever the light's going to be affecting it. So it's going to be your chest or potentially the leg, wherever the light would naturally shine on. And final step, we're going to spray just a little bit of Magmadroth flame over our visors. And there we have it, a bunch of completed Black Templars. We got through a ton of models today, and they all look really good. I promise the camera doesn't do them justice. These grimy guys are going to be perfect to go on crusading. If you liked what you saw today, please consider giving a like, leaving a comment, or subscribing. It means a ton as I continue to grow this channel and bring in new people. Also, if anyone would be interested in me starting up a hobby hangout Discord, just let me know, I'd be happy to do so. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one.